What is going on, guys? This is the Empowered People Podcast, where each and every week we tell, share, and listen to stories that are meant to motivate us to action.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to rely on people to help you.
I've always been able to surround myself with people that are way better than me.
Whatever you choose to do, you can make it happen, regardless of, whatever stereotypical roles are. If you want to go do something, go do it.
And so when I quit, it's in my mind. I'm starting a company. I'm starting a for-profit company with a nonprofit heartbeat that's going to answer the question, what if a company cares more about people and less about profit? What is going on, guys? This is the Empowered People Podcast, Tuesday Tuneup, where I focus on more stories, give less advice. I'm your host, W.I.N. And guys, we got a short episode for you today, but it's a meaningful episode. So recently through this 2021, this start of the year, I've been reading a lot of books, okay? And a lot of these books have been good. And I think if you follow me on social media, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, like I unashamedly bash books. Constant criticism is they could have wrapped it up. That book that was 280 pages could have been a 100-page booklet, right? That booklet could have easily been an essay or a PDF. That essay or PDF probably should have just been a tweet, right? Everybody's saying you can't communicate in 160 characters. Yeah, you probably can. Like, you shouldn't have wrote the book. The publisher done lied to you. But one of the books that I read recently was this book called Essentialism, The Pursuit of Doing Less or something like that by Greg Mckeown. And it's a really, really good book. I have zero criticisms of it. The chapters were pretty short. You could read them in about a day. They're about 10 pages. Really good stories, really good points. And while I was reading it, I got a lot of really good stuff out of it. I'm telling you, I'm probably going to read this book every single year over and over and over again. But while I was reading that book, he told the story about the New Zealand All Blacks. And the New Zealand All Blacks, if you don't know who they are, they're like the most world famous rugby team out there. And they just dominate. I think they went on something like 980 wins in a row. They lost like 2 games. And there's been countless articles wrote about like how they have this winning culture. And they said it's easy. We focus on the win. And everybody's like, okay, well, that sounds kind of stupid. Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken and the egg. The chicken and the egg came first, dummy. It's just this silly thing. And they said, no, you don't understand. We're not talking about we're focusing on the win in the sense of we're focusing on the end result. What we're focusing on is what's important now. The win, W.I.N. What's important now? And it really just spoke to me because every single year I'm a real big like New Year's resolution kind of guy. And it seems like right now, dude, goals and resolutions and bucket lists and all this kind of stuff are in massive attack. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, yo, give me all the goals, give me all the milestones. Like, I want to achieve them all. And that win, what's important now? So this year I picked 2 words that I thought were really going to like create the momentum and get me where I wanted to go. And it was clarity and focus. Like, that is what I wanted. I wanted to have clarity and focus. I wanted to be present. And when I read that the New Zealand All Blacks focus on what is important now, I was like, that is exactly what I'm talking about. I want to focus on what is important now. Because a lot of times it seems like we're just getting ready for what comes next, right? So like, I joke and laugh about how many people go to work and their whole goal is to get to first break. And then after break, their goal is to get to lunch. And then after lunch, their goal is just to get to 3:30. Like, there's no clear goal on what they are trying to accomplish for the day. And I fall victim to this, man. I go home sometimes and like the goal is to get the kids to bedtime. Like, that's my goal. And I just flash forward, or I miss out on so much of my life because I'm not being present. I'm not focusing on what I want to achieve. And I looked up the definition of clarity, and it says, free from obscurity and easy to understand. The comprehensibility, bro, I ain't never spelling that word right, of clear expression. So when I say, yo, to win, to know what's important now, you've got to have clarity. What I'm saying is you have got to be free from obscurity and easy to understand and have clear expression. So just think about that for a second. Free from obscurity. Dude, how many people go, what do you do? What do you do for a day? What do you do for a job? What'd you get done today? And you use a bunch of jargon, right? You're like, well, I got some stuff done. I traced out some circuits. I did some calculations. What did I do? And it's like, you're completely obscure. Nobody knows what you do. Nobody knows why you're getting paid. Like, nobody knows what value you're bringing to an organization and to a customer. And you wonder why you're not seeing the results that you want, because you're living obscure. Like, nobody has clear focus on that, right? Clarity, easy to understand. Like, we love to like elevate ourselves. Like, it's funny whenever I talk about what Empowered Electric does, what do I usually say? I say we make light bulbs come on. I break it down to the most simple thing possible. Man, we run conduit, we pull conductors, we make sure the ampacity to compressors is accurately sized. We do all this stuff that people don't understand. We put plugs in, we put light bulbs in. Man, I'm gonna clarify it. I'm gonna break it down to the most simplest terms so that anybody can understand it. That's what I want for my life. I want somebody to be able to look at me and go, yo, dude, that guy made Kansas City brighter. He empowered the lives of countless people that he came in contact with. If you came around Josh or you came around the people of Empowered Electric, you left better. That is a clear statement. Like, you were joyous, right? Like Matt Basinger saying, we make fun easy. Like, it is a very clear statement. Fight for clarity. Last thing, clear expression. Bro, most people say, what's that stat that most people would rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy? They're more scared of speaking in public than they are at dying. That's not okay, man. Learn to talk about what you want. Learn to communicate clearly your expectations. Otherwise, you will never win. If you are not clear, you will never, ever, ever win, because people aren't going to know what you want. So be clear. The second thing, be focused. Holy crap, be focused. It is so easy because of this dang thing right here to be so freaking distracted. You ping. Ooh, did I get a text message? No, it's just some notification that another Clubhouse dude is doing a whatever, right? Ding. Ooh, I got a like on Instagram. I should stop what I'm doing that I'm getting paid to do to check to see if my girlfriend liked my post. My wife texting, what do you want for dinner? Like, it's so easy to get distracted by your phone, to get distracted by music, to get distracted by podcasts, that you're not focused on the actual goal at hand, which is getting the job done. I don't know what your job is, right? Baking a cake, writing a song, freaking overseeing a merger. I don't even know what that means. But you do, but you know what it's like to be distracted. And like, I would just urge everyone to like fight against being distracted. I looked up the Webster's Dictionary word for focus, right? The concentration of attention or energy on something. Concentration. Bro, we live in the most ADD world imaginable. I remember listening about movie clips about Marvel, how they change the scene every 6 seconds because we can't pay attention to something. Bro, read some books. Learn to focus on words. Learn to see a project and stay on that project until that project is done. Being able to close out a game, being able to finish a project is such a freaking superpower. You want to get noticed? You want to get promoted? Learn how to concentrate. Okay, the second thing, of attention or energy. Dude, I loved this one. Right, of attention or energy. Attention's easy, right, because we just talked about concentration, but energy. The amount of people that are like, I want a job that doesn't feel like a job are not going to have a job, okay? And you're not going to get paid for your passion or your hobby or your flipping K-Swiss sneakers or whatever it is that you think you're going to do if you're not able to concentrate that energy on something of like building something. Like, I understand that the richest people in the world are usually just freaking middlemen passing money from one hand to the other, but they're on the clock, bro. They're not going to last forever. But the people that actually have tangible skills, that know how to dig ditches and connect wires and bake cakes and freaking make beautiful art, like the people that can do things with their hands, that can focus their energy on something, bro, I'm telling you right now, that is how you win. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, like, dude, so I played slow pitch softball, like men's league softball, sucked. All right, let's just go on the record and say that I was not good. But I remember being on the outfield, like we're up 9 runs to 8 or something, you know, I'm in the outfield, 1 strikeout and we win the game. And I'm out there and what am I praying? God, don't let him hit it to me. God, don't let him hit it to me. Hoping they strike out, right? Hoping that their screw up leads to me winning, not me making a play, them popping up and me catching the ball. That probably ain't going to happen, dude. Pop flies are hard. Or them something like that. Like you have got to be, if you're going to win, you have got to be able to go out there and win, not because somebody else loses, because you're able to concentrate your attention and energy to finish the job. The last thing about that, on something. What I want to end with is if I asked you, what's important now? Like, what do you want to achieve in 5 years, next year, in 10 years? What do you want your kids to grow up and think about you? What do you want your career to be like, your business to look like? Most people have no idea, right? They're just bouncing from thing to thing to thing with no clear focus, with no clarity or focus on what success even looks like. We're living in this world, man, where we just survive paycheck to paycheck, break to break, end of shift to end of shift, like just autopiloting through life. How do I know? Because Tesla's trying to do autopilot on the damn car. Like we are trying to like mindlessly just go through life. And that's not a life worth living. That's not a winner's life. That's not a winner's mentality. You have got to set a stake out there. And regardless of what anybody says about goals or about resolutions or about milestones or about resolution, whatever those words are, right? You should have goals for your life. The goal is to win. The goal is to enjoy the process. The goal is to leave the world better than you found it. And you will not do that by accident. You will not do that haphazardly. You have got to get clear. You have got to get focused. And you have got to focus right now on what is important now.